Hi, everybody. Welcome to our last final video lecture for this summer semester. It's been a short and sweet 6 weeks, but I'm excited to wrap this all up with you, and I hope you've enjoyed the class and you've learned some stuff. So the last chapter that we're going to talk about is chapter 14 in your textbook, Work-Life Balance. So first, we're going to talk about work-life balance, what it is and why it's important. Then we're going to identify some triggers to imbalance, discuss strategies for achieving work-life balance, and in the interest of providing you with some work-life balance, that's it for today. So work-life balance is the accomplishment of role-related expectations that are negotiated and shared between an individual and their role-related partners in the work and family or life domains. Sometimes scholars refer to work-life balance as work-family balance. Life is a more general reference to the self outside of work, whereas family refers to a collective group of people that can or cannot include spouses, children, partners with whom the professional resides outside of work. The definition of family has changed over the years, so this can incorporate a lot of different people, not necessarily just our traditional nuclear blood-related family. So work-life balance is super important for a couple of reasons. First, imbalance between your work life and your personal life can negatively influence the way you communicate in both your work and professional and business situations and with your family and loved ones and friends. Also, work-life balance fosters meaningful and successful relationships at home and at work. It's important to have these balances in order to perform all these roles to the best of our ability. And finally, work-life balance must be present to sustain professional excellence. If you're imbalanced, you're not going to be able to put your best foot forward at work. So if you fail to develop strategies for achieving balance, work time will attempt to colonize your personal time, and that can leave you with feelings of imbalance, stress, and burnout. Having a successful, good work-life balance has benefits for both employees and employers and organizations at large. Employees who have good work-life balance are often happier at work and at home when they have greater control of their working lives. So you will have time to focus on more life outside of work, and you don't bring your problems from home to work and vice versa. If you have good life balance, you're often shown more loyalty and commitment in your relationships, both at home and at work, and you will have improved self-esteem, health, concentration, and confidence, as well as better relationships with management and feel a greater sense of responsibility and ownership. For employers, the employees that have good work-life balance will often be more motivated, more productive, less stressed, which can result in maximizing the labor that is available to you, which is associated with reduced costs, retention of valued employees, maintaining a good reputation of being an employer, an organization, and it also can lead to reduced absenteeism, increased productivity, the ability to attract a wider range of candidates in a more diverse workforce, and you have a workforce that feels valued and therefore are more committed to your organization. So now we'll talk about triggers to imbalance. Imbalance triggers are experiences such as conflict, aggression, overload, or negativity that cause professionals to feel drained, used, abused, and or unhappy at work. External triggers are things that are going on in your environment at work and at home, usually stimulated by others. And this can include things like angry customers and clients, workplace bullying, workplace mobbing, technologically blurred boundaries in which your boss contacts you all the time when you're at home trying to relax, or your family is bugging you at work or something like that. An overload of household and family responsibilities, and adverse health issues that create additional physical responsibilities. But we also have internal triggers, which are concerns or frustrations you have about past, current, and future events, or a general negativity toward yourself. And this can be caused by a variety of things. Sometimes it's related to personality types or characteristics, just general stress, and past experiences with some of the external triggers that we just discussed. So now we'll move on to some strategies for achieving work-life balance. Striving for balance will promote better communication at work and at home. And part of professional excellence is getting to know yourself to understand how the sources of imbalance are influencing your communication and your well-being. So the first strategy is to know yourself. The first step in developing work-life balance is just to assess and determine your priorities in life and how much time you need to devote to each of them. So know your personality and what strategies will work best for you to achieve work-life balance. Next, we want to also develop emotional intelligence, which is the ability to monitor your own and others' feelings and emotions, to discriminate among them and know the difference between different types of emotions, and to use the information that you get from your emotions to guide your thinking and actions. It's also really important to understand anger and that it's a secondary emotion, usually triggered by some other emotion or experience. So make sure that we develop ways that we can release this anger in a very healthy way, like exercising or going for a run or doing an activity that we enjoy that lets off steam, rather than fighting with someone or yelling or just getting angry and sitting with that anger. It's also super important to learn time management skills. So you have to take control of how you manage your time. A lot of working professionals have difficulty with this, especially when it comes to managing the work-life boundary. So some are prone to kind of give up and misbehave by engaging in personal activities at work, like talking to family members or maybe doing online shopping or something like that. So it's important that you identify external and internal time wasters so that you engage in the most effective time management at work, especially. And we talked about technologically blurred boundaries, but you can also use technology as a tool for balance. Make sure you incorporate technologies in your life that make work processes or even like personal activities more efficient, so you are more flexible with your time. And finally, and I think most importantly, take vacations. They are good for the soul, they're good for your physical health, and it's important to foster your creativity and your productivity by just taking time to invest in yourself and relax. You will not reach your full potential if you don't take breaks. You will burn out and your creativity will not be as stimulated, and that will hurt you in things like problem solving and innovation. So that is all for today. We went over work-life balance, what it is and why it's important, identified some of the triggers to imbalance, and then ended with a brief discussion about strategies for achieving that work-life balance. Thank you to all who viewed these lecture videos. It has been a pleasure working with each and every one of you in this class, and I hope you came away with some valuable insights about conducting yourself with excellence in business and professional settings. Even though this class is technically over, please know that I'm here as a resource for you both professionally and personally. And please don't feel afraid to reach out to me if you have any questions or any way that I can be helpful to your professional and personal development. So thank you again very much for all your hard work and being a part of this class, and have a great rest of your summer.